Hi, and welcome to another episode of Hot Takes with me, the Silver Fox. And ironically, this story occurs on the Isle of Man. But it is an appalling story. It's an appalling thing that's happened to children in a school. And I think that when you hear the story, you probably agree that certain people most definitely need to be completely investigated. Every piece of electronic equipment examined thoroughly. Certain people need to lose their jobs. And the people involved with this need to be vilified and shamed and shown out to be what they are for what they are doing to schools. It's not as though this isn't something that's happened before. This has happened too many times and it's been called out too many times. And the school has gone ahead with it anyway. But then schools are run by Marxists, and we all know that they ultimately want to normalise the P. And that's exactly what's going on here. So brace yourselves, because this is a terrible story, but it needs to be told. I'm going in now. Right, I'm going to read the headline, but let me tell you that the headline isn't even the worst of it. Sex education is suspended in Isle of Man school after drag queen guest speaker tells 11-year-olds that there are 73 genders and made a child who said there are only two leave the class. An independent review has been launched into Queen Elizabeth II High School, and the review comes after parents raised concerns about the education lessons. Let me tell you, you're getting a man with a paraphiliac obsession of wearing women's clothes and woman face, and who obviously enjoys getting very close to young children. Who the hell is bringing that man into the school? Well, we all know, like I say, it's the Marxist teachers who want to push and normalise the P. And they like to do it at school, well away from parental oversight and parental knowledge. And now they're alienating a child and sending him out of the class because that child disagrees with the views and opinions of that one individual, that paraphiliac. Now, the really weird thing is, why is it that those who scream the loudest for tolerance and acceptance are the ones who will not tolerate or accept anyone else's views if it is different to their own? It's a strange world we live in. But honestly, brace yourself for this story. A school has suspended its education curriculum, that type of education curriculum, after a drag queen guest reportedly told pupils there were 73 genders and made a child who argued that there are only two leave the room. An independent review has been launched into the Queen Elizabeth II High School in Peel in the Isle of Man after Year 7 children were left traumatised after being taught about the sex change operations and sexual acts. The review of the school's personal, social, health and economic, the PSHE curriculum, led by the island's government, comes after parents raised concerns about the lesson. This is where we're going with this. Particularly the graphic, the disproportionate, the indecent presentation of acts and gender identities being taught to children. It includes a drag queen teaching the children, some of whom were as young as 11, that there are 73 genders. And we know that that's rubbish. There are two. There's only two. And no matter what goes through the mind of these mentally ill people, there's still only two. And if there weren't, why does he feel the need to dress up as a woman? Anyway, when a pupil said there's only two, the drag queen, rather than discussing it with him, made him leave the classroom because he's intolerant and cannot accept anyone else's views, and yet demands that we all kowtow to theirs. A bit one-sided and hypocritical, but then they are, aren't they? The children, now here we go, were also taught about that and, let's say, top and bottom entry. You can read the words, I'm not saying it. While another group were informed about certain operations and how skin grafts can be used to create artificial body parts. One teacher is also said to have had to teach pupils in years 7 and 8 how to enjoy themselves when they're having special alone time. Teachers teaching children how to do that. Straight away, grooming. Secondly, not just inappropriate here, I think actionable. That is the sexualization of young people. That is disgusting. That is degenerate. I hope that these teachers are all thoroughly and totally investigated, every single device they own scanned completely, looking for imagery. Guarantee that the drag queen, absolute, I have to be very careful with what I say here, is an absolute P. Guarantee he is a P. Because there's no way anyone like that constantly gets close to children. Isn't. Paraphilias are never a single thing. They're always a range, and that range always extends to children. Vice Chairman of Maron Parish Commissioners, Eliza Cox, you couldn't make that up, told Energy FM on the island, a lot of children are just too traumatised to even talk to their parents, and as a parent you don't know what children are being taught. As a parent, you need to know exactly what is being taught. They should make every school lesson open and examinable, and you should have no any education like this without informed parental consent. And the parents need to know in advance what is being said, what is being presented, who is presented it, and do they have full security clearance? Do they have a full background check? Are they 100% vetted? And if any of those things fail, then it should not be allowed. Anyway, continuing, a petition addressed to the school's head teacher has already been started by parents calling for an immediate investigation into the lessons. Never mind the lessons, an immediate investigation into every teacher and the head teacher of that school. Every single one of them is complicit. It reads, we consider the attendance of a drag queen in class and alienating students clearly confused about the information discussed during this lesson wholly inappropriate. Oh, it's worse than that. It is grooming. Your children are going to school to learn, and instead the Marxists running that school are grooming your children in their continual push to normalise P. Who, how and why was this guest speaker permitted to discuss issues to an inappropriate child audience by an inexperienced and untrained adult? The Isle of Man government has said it has launched an independent review to gain an understanding of what has taken place. And it comes after the island introduced new relationships and education curriculum in September. Charlotte Clark, the school's head teacher and chief groomer of children, it appears, said, having viewed a video which is currently circulating on social media relating to the school's RSE curriculum and its delivery, we are concerned that there could be a number of inaccuracies with the information being shared. Oh, I bet there aren't. The very fact that you let a man in drag walk into a room filled with children says everything that needs to be said. He says, given the concerns being raised, and in order to be open and transparent, well, you haven't been yet, we requested an independent review into the situation, and I'm happy to take part in the review, which is being deployed by the Department of Education, Sport and Culture, and would encourage our community to avoid speculation at this time. Yeah, you're running scared. Please avoid speculation in case you land on the truth early and we can't have time to defend ourselves from this awful child grooming that we are committing, is what you need to be thinking in your mind. Because what you've done there is straight up child grooming. You're all bastards. Anyway, I'm finishing off and coming up. What would have thought, given the history, particularly last year, with the many, many cases of this sort of thing going through, and the police being called to parents who, object to outside libraries and things like this. People are definitely aware that parents do not want this kind of thing. So it makes you wonder why the school felt obliged to bring in a man who dresses as a woman, a man with a paraphiliac obsession with cross-dressing, to address children, a man who obviously wanted to be close to children, and bring him in and give him ample opportunity to fulfill his desire to do what he's doing. The person who made the responsibility is as guilty. The head teacher is guilty. The teachers in that room are guilty. Any teacher who failed to raise an objection is guilty. There is no oversight on this. The teacher, you can guarantee the parents weren't involved. You can guarantee nobody told the parents in advance that this was going to happen. Because if you had, you would have had parents at the gate. And God, the teachers don't want that. They don't want parents raising children, not when they've got the opportunity to control them and say what goes into their minds and make up their minds. Give me the child and all that, and I'll give you the man. Or in their case, give me the child and I'll give it to a man. Seems to be the mantra of schools these days. But everyone at that school needs to be thoroughly investigated. A lot of them, I suspect, will lose their job if all their devices are examined. But what is going on? What is going on? Why did they think this was a good idea? And did they really think it wouldn't get out? Now, I hope personally that the parents of that child who was thrown out of the class sue for emotional damage. That'll send a message as well. A quick £20,000 off the school budget. That'll be the price for getting in these sickening individuals who seem to be obsessed with children. But everyone involved in this is degenerate. The teaching, teaching in general seems to be going this way. They seem to be having this constant push to push trans and identity politics onto children. We all know that the left Marxist people in the teaching, they keep pushing this. They've been doing it for years. They absolutely hate parents raising their own children. Anyway, I'm going to stop now because I'm getting so angry and I can feel the bile rising in me. So thank you very much for listening. Please hit the subscribe button on this video, on this channel, because we need to keep these people in the spotlight. We need to keep pushing this, and the louder my voice, the better. Please join me on this journey. Hit that subscribe button, ring the bell, share the video, like the video, leave a comment. For God's sake, leave a comment. And until next time, stay safe, stay well, guard your children, and goodbye.